Hi everybody, hope you're doing awesome. Long time no see. I've been busy as I'm sure you can imagine. Well, I guess you can imagine if you follow my channel. If you follow my channel much or you have in the past, you probably know that I've just been busy. My wife is pregnant, family stuff, work, um, maybe mixed in with just kind of playing other games, not as much Magic. So, my apologies. I don't see myself getting back to daily content anytime soon. Um, but for those curious, my wife should be delivering within the next month, so that's awesome. I'm super excited, but I'm sure after that means even less games and Magic and that stuff. So that's just a quick update for those of you who do, or who were watching my channel and kind of just appreciate the occasional. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm not making videos. Anyway, I wanted to reply to this message really quick that I saw on Reddit. And I was actually just going to type a reply, and I kept rewording how I was going to structure the reply, and I realized I'm just not a great, I'm more of a thoughts to audio guy than I am like a thoughts to paper kind of a guy. So anyway, I think the major question here is, well, why? Well, what I wanted to answer was why am I running for Restoration Angels? But I think he's also kind of asking, why are some of the reactive lists cutting their instant speed threats while the lower to the ground version is increasing them? So, I've seen some Jeskai Geist decks do pretty well in some recent events. I personally haven't agreed with all of their selections, but just because I have my theories on how to play the deck doesn't mean that I'm right. That's kind of one of the things that makes Magic so difficult, is it's hard to determine what is right, and I think sometimes in some formats like Modern, it's next to impossible in some situations, and what could be right for one tournament might not be right for the next, but you don't always know. You can't really predict in Modern what the makeup of a tournament is going to be. So for that reason, I think it's best to just make this is the other thing, what's right for one person may not be right for the next, because people have different play styles. Some people want to be more conservative or more aggressive. And so I think that, if you put the time in into an archetype and you feel like you can justify your card selections and you're going to play your deck to the strengths that you've built into it, then I think that is the version of the deck you should be playing. Some of the versions of Jeskai Geist are more reactive. I personally don't think that's what's best. I personally don't think that's the best way to build them, but some people who may disagree will probably pilot the deck differently, or want to pilot the deck differently than I would, and might have more success with that. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, why am I running for Restoration Angels? There's a few different reasons, and I'm just going to touch on them in no particular order. One is the way that I see Jeskai Geist, it is not a control deck. I don't want to build the type of old Jeskai control decks that they had 25 lands, 2 or 3 or 4 cryptic commands, no Restoration Angels, maybe 1, 4 Geists, maybe 1 click or 2. They were really, a lot of them were trying to use Geists as more of a finisher, and I'm trying to build the deck so that I'm not trying to take control of the game and then win with Geist. I'm trying to disrupt on turn 1 and 2, play Geist on 3, and then force my opponent to try to react to me. I want to suddenly be able to turn the corner after turn 3 and apply so much pressure that my opponent is going to have to try to, suddenly react to what I'm doing. And so for one of those reasons, I want everything on the curve above Geist of St. Traft to be good at getting Geist through to attack more. And so Restoration Angel's really good for that, because not only does it save Geist to attack again, but if you're saving your Geist with the Restoration Angel and getting in for 4 on that attack, the next attack is going to be for 7 in the air, even if you're Suiciding Geist. And that alone, 7 plus 4 is 11, and you're also playing a deck with 4 Bolts, 4 Helixes, and 4 Snapcaster Mages. That might be enough to get the job done. Not to mention, even if you're Suiciding Geist, you're still going to have a Restoration Angel after that. And so, I want, like I said, I want everything to help get Geist through, and I think Restoration Angel is one of the best ways to do that. One of the reasons I think Restoration Angel is the best way to do that over something like, say, Elspeth Knight Errant, or even Pia and Kieran the Lar, or even Cryptic Command, although I love Cryptic Command as a spell. Like, the reason I'm not running it in this list is because I want this list to be a little bit lower to the ground. I don't want to draw too many 4-drops, and the 4-drops that I draw, I want them to be able to be either aggressive or defensive or controlling. And that's sort of where the next reason I'm running 4 not really the next reason, it's just why am I running 4 as opposed to 2 or 3. I'm trying to balance the amount of reactivity and proactivity in the deck. And I feel like by having 4 Geists, 4 Restoration Angels, and a couple of clicks, of course Snapcaster Mage as well, it gives us a reasonable density of proactivity in the deck. If we were just all reactive spells and 4 Geists, most of our draws are going to be reactive spells, and that's not really what I want the deck to do. Like I said, I'm trying to be controlling in the early game and then find a way to turn the corner. You don't need to kill every threat with this deck. You just need to kill enough to buy yourself enough time to kill them. So Restoration Angel's great at punching through Geist. The other thing, and this is going to the somewhat proactive, somewhat reactive, are kind of, half and half. Restoration Angel is one of the best cards in the deck in almost any situation. If you're on the aggressive plan with Geist, I already outlined this, she helps you be aggressive. If you're on the controlling plan, Wild Nacatls, Flyers out of Affinity, Goblin Guides, any small creatures, Kitchen Finks. Oftentimes Restoration Angel can be a source of virtual card advantage, because if you can flash Restoration Angel in, block their creature, and have their creature die, not only are you killing a creature, but Restoration Angel practically said, 4 mana, kill target creature, and get a 3/4 flyer. So you're killing their creature, and then you're able to begin attacking on your turn. So Resto is just so good at straddling the line of, are you being proactive or reactive? And that's something that I think the Jeskai Geist deck is good at doing. Geist not so much. He's pretty proactive. But the other thing is, when you're also being the control deck, Restoration Angel is really good at buying back Snapcaster Mages. I was just doing some play testing with a friend, and he was playing Collected Company and Abzan Company. And even though I only bounced Snapcaster Mage once, I also had a Grim Lavamancer on the board, but just that extra bit of card advantage is mainly what sealed the deal and allowed me to maybe beat his Collected Companies. So Restoration Angel just has a ton of synergy in the deck, because it synergizes when the deck is being proactive, it synergizes when the deck is being reactive. It is one of the best value engines in the deck by bouncing Snapcaster Mages against certain against combo decks. You can sometimes bounce your Vendilion Click and take multiple card out of their hand. And so it's, the fact that it interacts favorably when you're trying to be aggressive is really big. And so when you think about it, sometimes I side a couple out. If I'm against Affinity, I'll probably cut a Restoration Angel or 2, because I do want to draw them, but I want to draw them later. I just want to increase the likelihood that I'm going to draw the cards that I want against Affinity. But really, it synergizes with both axes that the deck can operate on. So that's I guess that's really just the answer. And if you're not sure what I'm doing with the latest version of Jeskai Geist that I'm playing, I would suggest go look at my channel, the last video series. I talk more about it, but essentially what I went away from is the old like 25 lands, you know, going all the way up to the 5-drop slots, and I went to 23 lands, maximized the number of Serum Visions, but then also lowered the curve. I'm running more Mana Leaks plus remands. I'm not running any Electrolyzes, so our 3-drop slot is more streamlined. The only 4 drops we're running are the Restoration Angels, and again, I think I feel like in the way that I plan to play the deck, it makes sense to run 4. So, all right, guys. Thanks, and I hope you're all doing awesome. Like I said, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.